Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I have been today to see Thor Ragnarok with my son, and it's the third Marvel movie I've been to the cinema to see with my son this year. I think it's the third, certainly the third I've been with my son. And we've been to see Spider-Man Homecoming together, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and now Thor Ragnarok. And it's the third Marvel movie that they've knocked out of the park this year again. I think they've done a brilliant job with this Thor movie. um, I think the first two Thor movies were decent. I actually quite liked Dark World, the second one. I didn't think that was too bad at all. um, but I think the direction they decided to take Thor in this movie was welcome. I think they did need to lighten up the Thor movies a little bit, and I think it's fair to say that they have done that. I think, well, to be fair, you could say that about all the Marvel movies. Certainly, ones that I've seen this year, they are now making superhero movies with that are basically winking at the camera, winking at the audience, kind of say, just have fun with this, um, and it's working so far. However, I do think Marvel is in danger of backing itself into a corner by going down this comedy route. While I do appreciate it and I do enjoy it and I do think it's funny, a lot of the stuff that they're putting in the Marvel movies at the minute, I do think when it gets to a movie where they want you to feel tension and worry for characters, etc., we're not going to be there with them because they've been putting us in this lighter mood over these last few movies. So what do we get with this movie? Well, in Thor Ragnarok, we meet Thor at the beginning of the movie. He's been captured by this fiery beast who wants to bring Ragnarok to Thor's homeworld. And Thor puts a stop to it, finally goes back, and of course, at the end of Dark World, we saw that Loki had taken the throne at Asgard. Thor sees through it straight away. There's a couple of brilliant cameos in this section as well when he's watching a play of Loki's heroics, and it's Matt Damon, and we've got Sam Neill, and Chris Hemsworth's brother as well plays Thor in the play. I just thought that was genius. I really enjoyed that. So Thor sees through Loki straight away, and they immediately go on the hunt for Odin, who is on Earth. And we see a clip where Doctor Strange helps them find Odin, which is a nice nod to the end of Doctor Strange. Although I was hoping to have a little bit more of Doctor Strange in this movie, but fair enough. They find Odin, and they are told that basically they have a sister played by Kate Blanchett, Hela, and she is coming back basically, and she's all powerful. And once she gets to Asgard, she's going to be basically unstoppable. She turns up. Thor loses his hammer very quickly, which you've seen in the trailers, and on their way back to Asgard, both Loki and Thor get lost along the way, and they end up on this scrap planet run by Jeff Goldblum. And Thor is made to basically fight in a gladiatorial arena to try and escape. He's got to try and escape from there. He meets up with an old friend, Hulk, and they've got to try and get back to Asgard, escaping this planet, and put a stop to Kate Blanchett's character, who is running riot on his home planet, Asgard. And that's the story. Nothing special, really. Fairly easygoing story. A really good film. I have to say, I really enjoyed this movie for the most part. I think it was really well made. The lighter approach was welcome from me. Some of the casting was very clever. Jeff Goldblum was delightful in the movie. Kate Blanchett was a wonderful villain, one of the strongest in a Marvel film for a long time. I thought the chemistry between Loki and Thor was on form as usual. Some nice cameos, but the best incarnation of Hulk I've seen on screen so far. I mean, they've nailed it with the Avengers films. They've really got Hulk down in those, but he's brilliant in this film. Both Hulk as a character and Mark Ruffalo, very welcome to see. And overall, I think this is a really welcome addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But like I say, The biggest problem with this movie is because they are so intent on making you smile and laugh throughout, it borders very closely to full-on comedy at times. When you are supposed to feel worry about these characters and Asgard, when it tells you you're supposed to feel tense, you don't feel it because they've been basically tickling your funny bone throughout the movie. So how are we supposed to take the movie seriously at this point? You don't really, because I never felt Thor was ever really in threat, or any of the central characters. I never thought any of them were in threat. There's a couple of additions into the movie that are clearly just put in there for like there's a big massive dog that's clearly only there for Hulk to battle. You could argue the movie is a little predictable, but it's a Marvel movie. You could probably throw that to every single Marvel movie really. They're all pretty predictable. But as a blockbuster popcorn movie, it's a wonderful addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this. And I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it is well worth a watch.